right. This should all be working now. Hopefully some of you start filtering in from Josh's live stream. Just decided to do this last minute. Hopefully not too many people are too tired, but whoever shows up, shows up. And if you're wondering what this little box is, I put out some feelers to see if people will actually hop on. Casual MTB Rider, you are indeed the first. Let me pop out the chat here. Outdoor Golds, almost first. MTB Shredder, second. All right, guys, let me pop out the chat here. Thanks for joining. I know it's kind of late depending on where you are. And I always like to do these live streams as kind of little fun hangouts. They're surprises. They pop up, and then they disappear. Because usually I'm a right mess when it happens. I'm glad I have a smoothing voice. MTB Shredder. Box! Where's the box? Where's the box? Hey, RC, I put a link in the usual spot if you want to hop on. This little gray box here is where people's faces will go if I did everything right. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Just came from Josh's live stream. I appreciate that, Rooster. Sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable in my wobbly chair here. Well, since I'm already on. Definitely, man. Steven, what's going on? Hang on, let me get the, ooh, there it is. Ooh, it worked. Yeah. All right, some of you probably already have a good idea of what's in this box here. But we'll wait a few more moments. I'm going to see if someone's going to join in right here. Like I said, I don't know if I did it right. My live streams are always experiments. I try things and then I tell people in the community what not to do. Yes, some of you are already correct on the brand. PNW Components. Aaron sent this to me. This is actually going to go onto my Chromag build that I'm going to be doing in a couple months. I'm kind of waiting for the spring to roll around before I build another bike. I got plenty of bikes kicking around right now. Yes, the Smash shirt from Seth. I love this thing. I love Sketchy Trails. I love her art style. I've always been a fan of it. Kind of keep the sticker on there. RC, where you at, man? You joining? Or are you gonna ditch me? All right, we're probably gonna get going here in a few moments. I have another dropper post here. This is the original Bachelor. And that probably gives you a hint on what's in this guy. So we're going to get to it in just a minute. How's everyone's night doing? Anyone get to ride this weekend? Get out on the trails at all? Here in Colorado, it's been absolutely terrible riding conditions. It snows like half a foot. And then it gets warm enough that it melts, so then everything's just slush. And then it freezes, so then you have ice, and then it melts again. Yep, it's too wet here. Ass crack of dawn. We'll allow swearing in here. We're a little bit less PG than Josh's. Yeah, mud everywhere. I know down in Austin it's been just terrible. P&W, they can ride in the rain, so that's so nice. San Antonio, yeah, San Antonio, Austin have been so wet. It's been a really rainy season, which kind of sucks because they just opened up Spider Mountain. Don't want my couch to get mud. Oh, don't want your coach to get mad. DB Shredder, too moist. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to damage the trails. It's always terrible. Yep, Grand Junction. Everywhere in Colorado soaked. All right, if someone joins, they join. Otherwise, this empty box is just going to awkwardly sit here. So let's go ahead and get started. We have enough people. Oh, was Spider Mountain postponed? I think they've been kind of doing private events right now because a lot of, like, Pink Bike was out there. If you've seen that new Gorilla Gravity bike, that's pretty awesome. Oh, yes, do bikes. Indeed. I love this slogan. All right. Here we go. This is the brand new Bachelor. And this guy is a beast. This is a 170, actually. The one I was holding up was a 150. So we're going to slide this right over here. And this is the 150, so that gives you an idea of just how much longer this guy is. All right, so there's something else in here, though, because every new Bachelor now comes with the brand new loam lever. So we're going to pull this guy out here and get a closer look. I actually have a loam lever that I got, and I haven't been able to put on a bike because it's a little bit too pricey to put on the GT, and I need to wait for the Chromag. And that's it. By the way, cool little thing that P&W does. All of their... Ooh, is it going to focus? Maybe, maybe not. Nope, it's not going to focus for me. There we go. Trees are rad, so all of their manuals are online. So if you ever get a... There we go. There's RC.
There I am.
Hey,
Joe, long time no talk. How are we doing this evening?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Can everyone in the audience hear RC? Is RC coming in nice and crisp? Do I need to adjust anything? While I wait for people, I'm going to do the classic unboxing OCD lineup.
It's kind of funny on Google Hangouts. I see this nice gray screen, so I've got to pull you up on YouTube real quick.
Apparently, people are saying that it is a little quiet, so I'm just going to adjust some stuff here on my end. Bear with me, everyone.
Should I do some talking to get you some sound?
Sure.
Well, I've ridden with Joseph before, and he's a great guy, and he knows a thing or two about mountain bikes and filming mountain biking. How's that?
Hopefully that's a little bit better. Let me close that. All right. Is everyone able to hear RC okay? Talk a little bit, RC. How's the weather out there?
You know, out here in the Great West End, the Great West Slope of Colorado, the weather is improving daily. And long story short is about Valentine's Day, we get some riding back over here. I'm going to go with Crashing Dad tomorrow to Moab to go check that out and see if that is rideable, which I've heard like Captain Ahab and some Amasa back stuff.
Okay.
Good to go.
Do me a favor, turn up your volume on your end just a little bit.
Okay, my mic is maxed out, and then I'm going to go to do some other stuff.
This is a new setup, everyone. I just wanted, Josh gave me the challenge of bringing in people into my unboxing live stream so that way I could have people comment on stuff. So we'll get on to the unboxing a little bit if we can't get this audio tweaked into place, because we have 33 people that want to see the new Bachelor dropper post.
You know, when I saw the box, I was really stoked on that because this is going to be the brand new model, right?
Yeah, this is the new Bachelor. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn down my volume a little bit just so that way we're a little bit better matched. So that way people kind of can turn up their volume without having their ears blown out when I start talking.
Okay, so long story short is I am maxed out on my microphone. So I don't, and on my settings on my computer. So I don't know if the sound quality is not good. I mean, I don't have any problem with bouncing off the stream, but just let me know what you need from me, Joe.
I think we'll be good. Like I said, I set up mine so that way it's a little bit less hot, and so now everyone can kind of adjust their audio levels so that way they can hear us good. JJ Garage is saying it's good, so we're gonna carry on. We've faffed about enough. So let me catch up with the chat because there was quite a few people that were talking. Hey, Chris, how's it going? I hear San Antonio is miserably wet. Sorry, I know most of South Texas is pretty much soaked. Digging your stash, Joseph. Yeah, I need to shave. I need to shave a little bit. RC is almost more clean shaven than I am right now. Okay, backyard shredders like, okay, I'm here, let's get crazy. All right, people helping me with the audio. I think
so. This comes with the P&W loam lever, correct?
Yes. So I think MTB Shredder is telling me that I need to leave the stash. I need to let it grow out. The problem is that I grow like a wicked Fu Manchu. I have like these little baby bald spots all over the place, so like I can't really do it. Maybe when I'm grown up, I can grow a real mustache. But yes, this is the new dropper post that comes with. Okay, my mouse is just going to be in the shot. The Loam lever dropper post, or the Loam lever. And for some reason, my autofocus is not working the way I would like it to. But hopefully, y'all can see that okay.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. We're going to bring back that meme tonight. How's it going, Josh?
Good. Hey, Joseph, can you do me a favor? I know you're looking at the Loam lever. Not that I have any idea what that is. I have to act like I've never heard of this brand before. Can you show the collar of the dropper seat post in the same angle? Because that collar looks amazing.
Yes. That is, I like the graphics on that. Everything's reversed, so there we go. That is pretty sweet right there.
You know, long time no talk, Josh.
I know. Nice to meet you. What was your name?
Rich? Biker.
Hey, can I like show all the stuff I wish I could have shown on my live stream on Joseph's? I don't want to steal it though, because this dropper's. Whoa, what's that?
So it's a little bit redesigned. I don't know. This is the 170. I was trying to get more information. This literally showed up today. I was trying to get more information from Aaron on what's changed, because they did redesign a few little things. I love the graphics on the ear. If you've ever met Aaron, you know that guy is like really into details. And also, he is like big on customer service. So that's always why I've supported P&W. It's the guy behind the company that I've always enjoyed the most. And let's see if I can. Yes, my OCD is happy. The P&W is now lined up with the mountain. All is good in the world.
Joseph, if you can answer this question, I think I know the answer, but I'll ask you. Does P&W make their own dropper post? Like, do they have their own manufacturing?
No. So if you have, I'm gonna bring up here. There we go. If you've ever got to talk with Aaron has actually been in the industry for quite a while. He worked for Marin Bikes as product manager, and what kind of inspired him to start a company is that he was kind of looking around, and he saw that there weren't really budget options. And this was still back when, like, you know, we had the Reverb and we had the Fox Transfer, and those things were like hundreds of dollars for a dropper post. And he had decided that he wanted to do it a better way, like not have the cheapest option, but have quality that everyone could afford. And that was when they started P&W Components. Because he worked in the industry, he had contacts at factories he could go and work with. So that way he could get it at a good cost, but have the quality that he wants. So that's kind of what he did. Is he went, Biker actually did an interview with Aaron, and it's about an hour long, but it really gives you an idea of what kind of person Aaron is. And he talks about the manufacturing process, how he picks the companies he works with, how they help design everything. Because he comes with, you know, the design, they work on it, the engineers kind of say, all right, if you want to mass produce this, this is what you'll have to do to maintain the quality but still get the volume you need. And there's a lot that goes into it. So that is a long answer to a cool question.
No, that's awesome. RC, have you ever used a P&W component part?
Okay, so on my Evil Insurgent, sorry, I had to bounce out for a second because I had a technical difficulty, but I'm back. I have the older model Bachelor on my Insurgent, and honestly, it's like when I show it off to other people, they're very impressed with the action of it, because especially with the kind of like the higher air pressure in the air cartridge. And then the other thing that I really love about that dropper post, in terms of this being the older model, of course, is that I think it is probably one of the most at-home mechanic-friendly dropper posts on the market. It's so easy to take apart, grease it, lube it, get this thing ready to go, and making sure that you're going to have good longevity on the dropper. So I'm stoked on P&W, to be honest with you guys. And the Loam lever is something else. I think that's probably my bet for the best dropper lever on the market.
Yeah, I'm trying to put it together here, and I apologize for the inconsistent lighting. Like I said, this is I like to use my live streams as kind of fun little playgrounds for new camera setups, and I'm trying to hand tighten this. But you can see that there's two screw holes. Oh, why is the autofocus not working? I might get annoyed with that just enough to. Oh wait, I know why. Because it is. Hang on, there we go. Now, oh, it's so much better. Now that Fuji's doing its job. So yeah, it's got two holes here, so that way you can actually kind of adjust the reach a little bit, so you can move it in or out. And then there's actually another worm screw here that lets you adjust the reach of this handle here. So if you adjust this worm screw, that'll push this part out a little bit more, so that if you have this lever sticking out just a little bit too much, you can bring it in and get it more lined up with your cockpit. And then of course there's the barrel adjuster for the tension, and a sealed weather sealed bearing there. And that was one of the things Aaron said that they really saw that was kind of missing from some of the other levers out there, was they used really high quality bearings, but they were more like they weren't sealed bearings. So they decided to put one in there, and so you can actually replace it. And that's the cool thing about this. This is like high quality machining here, and basically you can service this, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Joseph, do they have a video on how to set this up properly?
No, but you know what? That's probably one of the things I'm going to try to do, because I won't lie, I've watched some of PNW's videos when they try to make the walkthroughs, and it's usually just someone kind of silently doing something on it. They don't even have, annotations or anything. And I've kind of wanted to talk to Aaron, like, can I help you? Can I help you just a little bit?
I don't think he would be offended if he jumped in.
I don't think he would be offended at all. We'll see. We'll see what happens. People are asking Josh if you can see the chat.
Yeah, I responded. I said finally I did. I literally was like, oh, I should probably see if anybody's saying good stuff in the chat.
Yeah. Let's see. Flying High MTB. Hey y'all, what clipless pedals do you recommend? And then he said, in my opinion, no. So I don't know what in context he's talking about. So I don't know if he's commenting on something.
RC, do you ride flats or clips?
I ride flats, and I run. I don't know if you saw this on the Biker Bar a couple days ago, but he interviewed James with Pedaling Innovations, and they basically have like these extra big like platform pedals, and that's what I run. Shane runs them too, so that being the Crashing Dad. Around here, we just have so many rocks, so many steep, punchy climbs, and like I just really struggled with like actually mountain biking in this area with clips. And so, I mean, switching over the plats made it so I could push my limits a little further, especially on some climbs and stuff. So it was kind of like the perfect pedal, especially for riding here and in Moab.
Yeah. Joseph, what flat pedals do you ride?
I ride a few. I have the Konawawa 2 metals. I have the Chester composite, and probably another pair kicking around somewhere, because I have an embarrassing amount of gear that I need to get rid of.
And RC, what do you ride when you don't, besides your dream of the Pedal Innovations?
Yeah, well, I guess, what do you mean, what do I ride?
Sorry, do you have flat pedals that aren't Pedaling Innovations?
I've ridden Chesters and it's like the specialized flat pedals, but I only run those, what I like to call the PI catalysts, Pedaling Innovations for short, with PI, and it just kind of like are the right blend for me.
I am a diehard Konawawa fan, and
they're nice. They are nice.
They're the best. They're fantastic.
Adam Davis says Race Face Chester for the win. They are nice.
Is that Adam?
Yeah.
I'm not Adam. I'm so used to seeing his like official channel. So.
Yeah. Which Adam is. He is out in California, for those that don't know, and he was originally from Kenya. And he was out there with his father. His father was out there serving a mission, and unfortunately, Adam is dealing with some health issues, but he's not letting that slow him down too much these days, and he's powering through it. So good on you, Adam. I've been keeping up with your adventures through YouTube and Instagram.
So, Joe, are there any like really some like distinct differences between the new and the old Bachelor dropper posts?
Oh, well, I just happen to have one that I prepared earlier right here.
Oh,
So
is RC sponsored by you, Joseph? That was too good.
you know what? There are checks that go out. Who they go to, I am not at liberty to comment. There we go.
that's good.
So this is the. You know what? I'm gonna adjust something right here. I'm gonna. Oh wow, that was way too bright. Okay, that's good. That's pretty good right there. All right, is it the other way? Sorry, y'all. I'm just geeking out. All right, there we go. That's better. And then we'll just get it to stop swaying. It's not a perfect setup. All right. So this is the 170 new Bachelor, and this is the 150. So there is a little bit of difference. It does seem like the collars are about the same. They've just made them a little bit more streamlined a little bit. However, I was playing around with this earlier. I kind of did a pre-unboxing just to play around with it. But if you watched my previous video on PNW component dropper posts, you will know that these things are unscrewable. And wow, there's a lot of threads on these things. I'm really interested to see how
It takes a minute to get that collar off.
Yeah, it does. Are you doing something on your end?
I'm not.
Okay. All right. So just getting the collar off of this. Oh, there we go. Okay. So now we start to see an interesting difference, right? There's definitely a difference in the threads here.
Oh, I see. That's
There we
actually a
go.
significant difference.
Yes, it is. And this is what is interesting about this. So, you know, when you actually line up the threads here, the threads go. I'm going to boost up the ISO just a little bit more, just to get a little bit. There we go. Trying to get some better lighting for y'all. Yeah, these threads are like half as long. And let's really geek out. I like how Adam is like, being a follower of Joe on Instagram, this live stream is so much similar because he loves to mess with his camera stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I like to do. All right, turn on the caliper, and let's see. About 10 millimeters of thread there, and so this guy is probably closer to like, wow, yeah, like 16 millimeters of thread.
Yeah, it's totally overkill, which if you've ever opened one up, you realize that.
Yeah, it is. But if you've watched my video, and unfortunately I don't have an uncut one, but here is the One Up Components dropper shim that actually came out of this 150 here. And let's see, because there was an issue where, I'm going to bring it out a little bit. Oh, there it goes. So this little collar here, I can't remember what it's called, bushing. This little bushing doesn't really sit all the way down in there. Now, right now it does because I extended it all the way. And there's, I don't know if you can see it from here, probably not. There's like three little channels that little brass tabs slide up and down on. Hang on. I can do this. I can do this without stabbing myself. There we go.
And I'll just say, while you're doing that, Joseph, there's three little channels that make it so there's literally the least amount of play I've ever seen in a dropper post.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So they have the spin stop technology on this. And this is one thing that blew me away. Even my Fox transfer, which is, I still will fully admit, is probably the best dropper post on the market from a standpoint of quality and how it functions, but it's expensive, which, once again, like I said, Aaron's not trying to be the cheapest. He's not trying to be the best. He's trying to fill that middle ground to give someone, like, they can step up into something. And these things come with a 3-year warranty, and that guy is really big on customer service.
Wait,
Yes, he is.
he's trying to be the middle ground?
In a way.
Because anybody who's used a Fox transfer post knows the post itself is really good, but the lever is terrible.
Oh, you mean like
Yes.
this
Yes.
bent piece of crap that I have right here that still costs $60 even 4 years later?
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Oh.
is. So by the way, this is the lever that comes on the old Bachelor. All the new Bachelors come with the loam lever. This new lever comes with like Rainiers and some of their other mid-tier stuff because so the new Bachelor is kind of expensive compared to their normal lineup. It's about oh shoot, what is it? I'm gonna pull it up because I want to give the actual price on it, but it's a little bit more expensive. But you get that really awesome loam lever. Let's see, PNW components.
I think it's only like $250.
It might be. I'm just pulling it up right quick because I want to give an accurate. No, it's a little bit more expensive. Right now, it's going for $300, which is more expensive considering most of their dropper posts are $199, and they come with levers. So definitely a little bit more expensive than the average one. But like the Rainier comes with this lever, I believe now. The Cascade, I believe, comes with this lever. And then you get this really nice, high-quality machine one with the Bachelor. So that's kind of where that extra money is going. The Bachelor is like their flagship model. It's the best dropper that they sell.
Yeah, and I would just say, like, if anybody watching this is like curious about buying a dropper post, I would hands down spend the extra $50. I think the next cheapest is the one-up components, and that with a lever is $250, and I would argue this is way more worth it.
And, you know, I'm not a big fan of not because I have any beef with them, but I'm not a big fan of the one-up dropper lever because it didn't last very long at all on my bike before it broke.
Okay, so you guys want to do some bonus content because I happen to have a Wolf Tooth, a PNW loam lever, and a one-up components dropper lever that I've been waiting to do a video on. But I was going to film it tomorrow where it was literally an unboxing. So, like, do you guys want to just kind of quickly do, like, a spoiler? Because I always unlist my live streams. So the people in here right now are going to get kind of a secret behind-the-scenes thing. Which Twitchy Nick is dropping out. Appreciate you dropping in, man.
So if I show off, like, the brands I'm sponsored by, no one else is going to see it?
I will. So it'll be unlisted, which means that anyone who watches the notifications and comes back and sees it will see it. But I can set it to private if you want me to.
No, you don't have to. I don't have a dirt jumper sitting over here or anything.
You mean like the dirt jumper that's right over your shoulder?
No, not that. Not that one. Side note, I don't want to hijack it, but I just want to share the Stoke. Like, can you see the frame color on this thing?
That is ridiculous.
Can you see how cool? It's aluminum too.
Hang on.
It's like a broken paint. It's legit. I've taped some logos. Don't worry.
Well, okay. Never mind.
Not
You put
the
it
right
away.
one.
You put it away.
Not the right one.
I was going to oh, wait, I have this. I forgot I set this up. So this is kind of a side by side. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's actually pretty cool. Woo! I'm fancy. Too small. I know. I guess you're just going to have to watch Josh's video. But anyways, let's get a little bit more on topic for a second because I got off topic. Here's the one-up dropper shim, right? Everyone knows this. Everyone loves this. It was a game changer because just like I get stuck in between sizes on bikes where I wish it had a little bit more reach, but not like 20 millimeters more, sometimes I get a dropper post and I'm like, oh, I wish I could just take a few millimeters off of this. So this is the one-up shim that's already been trimmed. I actually had a bag of untrimmed ones, but I couldn't find it because my office is a freaking wreck. And this installed down into the 150 Bachelor right here and was able to bring it down by, I think it's, what is it at? It's about 5 millimeters, I think. Let's double check. Let's check the math here. Okay, I was wrong. That's about 10 millimeters of drop taken off. So this should theoretically, if I can find the channel, I'm gonna feel around in here.
And then additionally, Joe, what's the difference between the stanchion sizes on these droppers?
Stanchion sizes. Are you talking like, is there like an actual width difference or something?
Yep.
The
Um,
diameter looks smaller on the new one.
let's find out. I have the tools, so let's find out. So the old one,
Yeah, I saw it.
the old one is about 20. Let's round up to 25 mil.
I'm gonna say it's the same.
Oh wait,
I'm gonna
hang
say
on.
the new one's bigger. I think.
It might be
I'm just on. I have a hunch.
by like a hair, actually.
No way.
Yeah, good
Wow.
eyes, man. Cause like I was like, oh that, yeah, like
No.
no, seriously, it is like, yeah, 25. There we go.
That's a
Yeah.
whole millimeter.
Yeah, there you go. Talk about stiffness. So yeah, this is a new design. That's very interesting. So I'm gonna. This is the first time I've tried this. I'm actually gonna try to see if I can't find the grooves in there, and see if I can't get the one-up component dropper shim to work. And I'm gonna be a little bit disappointed if it doesn't, because that was a super clutch thing. Let me get this down a little bit, because I think that the grooves aren't opened up. There we go.
All right, guys, I'm gonna sign off because the missus came home, but I'm gonna keep watching this because Joseph, I know what you're gonna do, and I'm super curious about the results.
Yeah. No, I might have to talk to Aaron, because this might be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Cool.
weird.
Well, hey, have fun, guys. Great to talk to you.
Have a good one,
we'll talk
Josh.
to you again someday.
So what I'm curious, though, is why am I not feeling any sort of groove?
Maybe the grooves are deeper in the housing there.
No, I don't know, because check it out. So this is the old Bachelor, and first off, there's a ton of room in there, like a ton of room. And if you do it right, you can kind of feel around and find the grooves. So I might have to ask Aaron for some schematics on this, because I was hoping that, unless this is just so freaking short, because this is cut so thin, I'm actually having a hard time
Yep.
finding it on this guy.
Yep.
So yeah, I have a flashlight somewhere. There it is.
Armed with all the tools.
There we go. Okay, now I can see down in there a little bit. Yeah, I can see the grooves on that one.
And the grooves are right on the top, huh?
Yep. Okay, I think I see something. Let me grab something. RC, can you keep up with the chat while I dig through my toolbox?
Oh yes. Oh yes. If you're watching the live stream while Joseph is out there getting some extra parts, be sure to hit the like button. Do us all a favor by hitting the like button on that. Does anybody else have anything in here? What kind of dropper posts are you guys running on your bikes? Let us know in the chat. Would you consider a P&W dropper? Yeah, hey, I did have a 4-hour live stream in which Trail Features was in it yesterday, so I can't remember.
Yeah,
It was kind of funny. It was kind of funny because it was like, okay, I'm gonna get off at an hour and a half into it, and then right when I was about to end it, Shane hopped on, and then right after Shane got off, Aaron with Mountain Biking Adventures he got on, and then Rob with Biker he got on, and Wayne with Ride Rate Review got on. So it just kept on going. Super marathon stream.
You know what? I think the grooves might be gone, which is disappointing, because that means that the old dropper post can be... Wait, no. I feel something there. It's like, I feel like a lockpick, one of those YouTube lockpick channels. Have you ever watched the Lockpicking Lawyer, by the way?
I have not.
Okay, if you ever want to be...
rather entertaining.
Yeah, like he's a guy, I think he's actually a lawyer, and he picks locks as a hobby. And he has convinced me that there's no point in locking anything.
It always gives you great and tremendous confidence when you see that, and you're just like, you know what, I might as well just... At that point, you have to like put a backhoe in front of your, or like a truck in front of like your Connex or your storage sheds, and nobody gets into it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that old saying, locks are for honest people, is so freaking true.
It is.
And hang on, Adam. I got something coming your way. Because Adam mentioned something to me.
The bike lock is useless. That's what we had in the comment or in the chat.
There you go, Adam. I sent you a link. Adam Davis was asking when he was ever going to get on one of these live streams, so I sent him the link.
Just like that.
Just like that. We made it happen. Boom. And I know he's on the West Coast, so he can. He's young. He's on the West Coast. He can stay up as I fiddle around. So I'm going to go ahead and say that, yeah, like, because I can really get that down into the groove there. So, and that is definitely in a groove, just like the Emperor in a new groove. Yeah, that was a lame Disney movie.
I'm kind of curious if you would have to pull the bottom out from underneath the dropper post to install that.
You know, I am tempted, and I might have to talk to Aaron to figure out if it's possible, because this really is a new design. This isn't just a rebadge of the old one. This is seriously a whole new design, and I'm curious how he did it, because of the fact that I was really hoping that this could be done. However, I'm pretty confident that it can still be done on the Rainier, and I have the new Rainier on order too, because I'm putting the Rainier on my girlfriend's bike, I'm putting the Bachelor on the Cro-Mag, and there's a third dropper post on the way for the GT, which is their new $150 option that they just came out with. And so that is... Sorry, go ahead.
Maybe an idea would be to, like on the new one, maybe to extend the stanchion out maybe just a little bit further, and you could see those rails in it, and then you can put the shim in there.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, I was really feeling around in there for everything, and I feel like there's actually like a lip in there, but it's weird because that bushing doesn't make any sense. Why would there be a bushing in there if there wasn't something that was stopping it from coming up? So yeah, let me extend it up all the way again.
And then, you know, like I mean, I've taken, so you obviously have the old model there, and I've taken mine, I mean, completely apart, and which was, like I said, it was extremely easy to do, and I'm actually pretty happy to see that they shortened the size of that bushing. I like that bushing design that they have there.
Yeah, this is what I was really excited, because I was like, ooh, there's going to be more room for. No, I feel something there. Like I feel a catch, but it's like way smaller. So I almost wonder if like, yeah, it's like literally just small enough for this to fit in there. So I'm going to have to talk to Aaron about that, or take this thing apart. I don't want to take it apart right now on live stream, because this is pressurized, and I don't like to deal with pressurized stuff.
Well, and then it gets all greasy in there too, you know, and then you're touching keyboards and camera lenses with that as well.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy because, okay, hang on. There's something weird going on here, because I try to put the bushing down in, and it won't go in, which means that, like, the channels, this is normal, by the way. This is normal. If the channels come up too far, it won't let the bushing go down on this old dropper, and you can actually feel them. And by the way, we have Cobra Kyle hanging out in the background.
Hey there. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
That's okay, man.
It was fascinating. So I was...
Welcome to the madness. Welcome to the madness.
I'm glad to be here.
What's going on, Cobra Kyle?
Hey, RC. How are you doing?
Doing good.
I don't think I've ever talked to you.
This would be the first time. It's going to be a great many firsts on Trail Features.
It's a pleasure.
Man, that's weird.
There was actually kind of an interesting chat thing here that you had, Joseph, from MTV Shredder, and he said kind of like was wanting to put kind of head-to-head Shimano XTR 1x12 versus the XX1 kind of in a head-to-head there. And none of us, I don't think, have tried Shimano 12-speed yet.
No, I haven't.
Shimano 12-speed.
No, I haven't. Oh, wait. Okay, so I have a new theory. Whoa. No, I can see it now. Oh, Aaron, yeah, you completely changed it. So I'm going to try to see if I can get this to view for you guys. Hang on, get that. Whoa, wrong switchy thing. Wrong switchy thing. Okay, I'm going to try to show you guys this. So do you see that tiny, if I can get it to just focus, that tiny little brass nub right there on the inside? You see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that is the new spin stop, and it's way, way smaller than the old one, because that was the thickness of the old brass tabs. So this is completely redesigned. But here's the thing. There is a channel there, guys. There is, in fact, a channel there. So RC, and Kyle, and the greater hive mind that we have here, do you think it would be possible to recreate the concept of this? I hold it so that way you guys can actually see it, which this is the one-up shim. Something smaller like this, because, like I said, I kept feeling something catch, but I wasn't able to get it down in there, and I'm wondering, I have to take it apart. I'm going to have to take this apart at some point or ask Aaron for the schematic, because I feel like there could be some homebrew options for this, that we can get something small into those little groove ways. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that? You think it's worth it?
Oh yeah. All you have to do is just let out. I mean, if you have a shock pump anywhere nearby, it doesn't take much effort to let all the air out of the air spring. But like I said, it's going to get really greasy. And then the only other thing that you need are like I think it's like 2 or 3 millimeter Allen wrenches to take it apart on the bottom there, which it looks like you're prepared for that.
We might be jumping into this. This might get a little bit heavy here, kids.
Yes.
And
whatever you do, don't void the warranty.
Well, good news is I don't know. Well, I don't think I would push my luck with Aaron that much. Like, well, so I took apart your stuff on the live stream, blew up, shot out my eye. By the way, this is my lawyer. No, I wouldn't do that. I would not do that. That would be stupid. Hey, there's Adam.
Hey.
Hey, man, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Hey, welcome to the live stream. Glad you can make it.
Awesome. I was just,
You're a little bit quiet.
I don't know what I can do about that.
It'll be fine.
I'll talk a little bit.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I was just packing up to head off to Kenya.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're on your way.
Yep.
When do
We're
you
leaving
leave?
tomorrow morning.
Whoa. You must be stoked,
8
dude.
a.m. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty good.
Nice, man.
Is this the Adam that was featured on BKXC?
Yes, twice.
Sweet. Twice, yes, twice, dude. I'm
I was.
blown away by your story, dude. Blown away.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Adam, do you
The first time.
Oh, I was gonna say, Adam, do you wanna tell your story real quick for the people that might not be familiar?
Yeah. So, I guess I'll just start somewhere from the beginning. So, I have been living in Kenya with my whole family of 5. I have 2 sisters and my mom and my dad for about 12 years, and we're missionaries there. And my dad's a doctor, so we've been living there. I was going to school at a really great school there, and then we're back here. I'm in California right now, back here visiting, and I ended up getting pretty sick, and I ended up being in the hospital. And from there, it turns out that I have a heart problem that is pretty dangerous, and it's possibly gonna result in some more crazy stuff like a heart transplant or something. So I've had to pretty much move back to California so that I can have that kind of medical assistance if I need it. But I've got the go-ahead from my doctor to head back to Kenya for 3 weeks, actually, and visit all of my friends, say goodbye to all my people, and, get all my stuff. So that's happening. That's starting tomorrow, and I'm pretty excited.
Man, I mean, it's great that you're getting back to Kenya, but it kind of seems like it's a little bit bittersweet. Where like
definitely.
You're going to be able to see everyone, but I mean, I want to talk about just the outpour from the community, because you actually started a little bit of a Kickstarter.
Yeah,
tell us about that.
So actually, I didn't start this thing, and when I was talking to one of my friends, he was my teacher a couple years ago, and he told me, I think that we're sort of talking about an e-bike, but I was kind of actually, it's funny, I was like sort of negative on e-bike before my whole situation. So he started saying, we could get you back out on the trail. We could get you this bike and all that. We could get it really quickly if we make a GoFundMe. And I've before and after, even just now, today and every day, but I've been getting just messages and messages of people just reaching out to me, people I know, people I don't know, people all around the world, just encouraging me and saying all kinds of great stuff. So Mr. Carey, my friend, started this GoFundMe, and we raised like $6,700 to buy the 2019 Turbo Levo I think we raised it in 7 days.
That was awesome. Like, e-bikes have definitely gotten more affordable, but they're still not cheap. And
yeah, and
you said it was funded in like 7 days.
Yeah, I think we were 90% in 5 days or so.
That is awesome. That's got to be, pretty helpful, because I've been in situations where, like, I was very sick, and for me, I had those questions of, like, am I going to get better? It's like, is my world just like over right now? Like, is all this stuff just stopping? And it can be really heavy. So, how did it feel watching a bunch of basically perfect strangers just pour money into this?
So it wasn't a lot of strangers, but even though it wasn't a lot of strangers, it was just like the most amazing thing. I was actually, when we started the GoFundMe, when it went live, I was out at the beach with my family, and I was just checking my phone every hour or so, and it's just crazy, like, raised $1,500 on that first day, and it's just crazy to see all the people that I've known, people that I haven't seen in 5 years, that just I rode bikes with back in Kenya and stuff like that. Just people reaching out like that was so awesome to see.
That is pretty awesome, and that's definitely one of the reasons why I love the mountain bike community, and just having a good community as a whole. How many non-mountain bikers were donating to this? Because I'm sure you have friends and family that were rooting for you.
Let me go on this GoFundMe website and see, and let me just tell you real quick how many people that weren't mountain bikers that just knew me donated. I think you'll be pretty surprised.
While you're doing that, I'm just gonna try to clean up my work area. Go ahead, RC.
At this point, there's really not many surprises in here, because it's so remarkable. It's just like the second that he said the community went out there and they reached out to him and they helped him out and they got him on a bike that he could ride. That's just, it brings me just a tremendous amount of like joy and even hope out there. That's just a really great story of people standing up for somebody that's having a hard time. And so good on you, Adam. How are you liking you have the e-bike? How are you liking the e-bike?
I'm really just loving the thing, I think it's been like two months, and I have over 500 miles on it. I was riding until the last few weeks, been riding 5 times a week, riding a lot with my dad. So it's just really been really great and really liberating to be able to get out there and be back on the trails, because I was pretty sad when I wasn't on the trails at all. And I don't know if any of you guys saw my YouTube video. I made a YouTube video where my parents were taking me on this shuttle run, and we just go down it and then back around over and over again. And that was pretty much the extent of my riding, was like this, it would be like 10 minutes of riding time per day. And that's all I could manage, really.
Well, real quick, I want to let you know that you're getting +1 subscriber.
Definitely.
You,
+2.
Thank you.
+2. Cobra Kyle.
Okay, I'm gonna do something real quick. Add Kyle, RC, can you comment? And Adam, I'm going to make you a moderator right quick. Can you comment in
Alright,
the chat,
okay,
guys,
I'm
so
on
that
there.
way
Yep.
I can add you 3 real quick.
See, look, I changed my YouTube channel account when I got on my computer.
Oh, there you go. Well, now both your accounts are. I thought I added RC. All right,
Awesome.
RC's already a moderator,
Looks like
or
I am too.
Cobra is. I don't know if RC is. RC, can you comment in the chat real quick?
Yes, I'm going to say, what's up?
What's up? Oh
What's
yeah, the Super
up?
Bowl.
There we go.
Super Bowl's happening soon, but we'll stay away from that topic.
So are there like okay, go ahead, Joseph. Sorry.
I was going to ask RC, can you use your new mod powers to post Adam's YouTube channel in there for everyone to subscribe to?
Yep, I will handle that. Right meow.
Right meow.
Right meow.
All right. And so this is just a little status update while Adam was telling his amazing story. I was futzing about with this freaking thing, taking apart what I could. I decompressed it, and RC, you said you've taken apart The Bachelor before?
Yep.
Okay, so I've decompressed it. So it's now freely, moving. Does this part unscrew? You said I needed some
Okay,
Allen
so
wrenches?
yeah, did you unscrew that bottom part on your right hand?
No. Do I just literally?
Yep, it just unthreads with your hand or a crescent wrench. Yep.
Okay, so it shouldn't be like ridiculously hard.
Yep.
And lefty loosey, righty tighty.
Yep.
Think so.
Remember, whenever you go to lift, it's all back, no legs.
Yeah, just strain. Oh, I don't know if I can do this, guys. I don't know if I have the grip strength for this because I'm trying, and it doesn't want to break 3.
Okay. I mean, at least that was the older model that you would unscrew it there.
I think it still does, but like I think I need like a soft clamp to like clamp onto this guy. So I'm going to pin this idea because otherwise I think I'm going to go down the rabbit hole with this. This might turn into another video. But I was kind of hinting before that I have like 3 of the main dropper posts. Adam, what dropper post do you use?
I'm using, so on my Specialized Enduro, which I've had before the incident, I have a Giant Contact SL switch. I got it off of eBay for a pretty good price, and it worked pretty good, but then it stopped working pretty good, and I think it's from some mud and also some not very good maintenance.
Oh.
But then I actually took my bike to my bike shop called Wheel World here in Los Angeles, and they're the greatest bike shop in Los Angeles.
Nice.
And I was giving them the bike for some more work, actually of a different manner, and then they saw the dropper post, and they saw it wasn't working well, and even though 1, it's out of warranty, 2, I bought it off of eBay directly from China, and I don't know, I guess there's not a third point, but it was crazy that they just got me another one from Giant and put that on my bike, and that one's been working really good. My dad's been riding my Enduro, and I've ridden it a little bit, which I'll talk about at some point, but yeah, that one's working really good. And then on the Levo, I'm trying to remember what it is. I'll get back to you.
All right. What would you say the one was that you bought off eBay? It was what?
The Giant Contact Switch.
Giant Contact Switch.
I actually had one of those, or I do have one of those.
Interesting.
It kind of runs on not quite the same system as like the old Bachelor runs off of, but it's kind of a similar system with the replaceable air cartridges.
Yep, the cartridge costs like $60. You can put it in. I actually got quite proficient at taking those things apart, just because of the way I had my cable routing in my Enduro. I had to take it apart quite often.
Huh. I haven't taken apart a dropper post yet. You think? Well, okay. Technically, I did for my the shim video, but I mean like I unscrewed a cap. Woo.
I took the whole thing. I took it like apart probably 7 times,
Jeez.
just to grease it up and trying to keep it working. Although that wasn't extremely successful.
This guy knows what he's talking about. I had the similar experience with it. And then also, Joe, when you do take that bottom cap off, I mean, if you can get something that gets a hold of it so you could unthread that bottom off, if that still has the same system, there are 2 kind of Allen screws in there, like that are like basically in the threads of that bottom part, and sometimes they can be covered with grease hiding in there, and that's going to take the 2 or 3 millimeter hex, and that kind of like that's what sets the rod on the air cartridge. So again, I feel like it's very similar. It's been a long time since I've taken apart a giant contact switch, but I've taken the Bachelor apart just a couple months ago, and that was the case there. So
It sounds just the same on the Giant. Actually, it's very, very similar.
Yep.
Trying an old trick my dad taught me.
So actually, one thing I found out with the Giant, the new model of the Giant, is that it looks almost identical to the SDG Tellus,
that didn't work.
which really weirded me out.
So wait, what was that, Adam?
I was finding that the new Giant, the 2018 model of the Giant Contact, actually is pretty much identical to the SDG Tellus, at least from the outside. I haven't really looked on the inside yet.
Huh. Yeah. So the problem is that a lot of manufacturers kind of borrow from each other. So if someone comes up with a good system but they don't patent it, you'll often see clones pop up on other bikes. But I can't get this. I was trying to like figure out some like cool Seth hack way of freaking getting this thing open.
As a side note, Giant makes the worst dropper posts in the whole world.
He's back.
Welcome back, Josh.
You got Adam, you got RC, you got Cobra Kyle, and I am saying it definitively. I've had so many stupid Giant dropper C posts that I go, Giant, figure your life out.
Oh man,
Nice.
I don't know. Mine worked pretty well for a while.
Adam, that's the thing though. Mine did too, but when it breaks so terribly that it just wrecks everything.
So I guess here's one thing that's a little bit different from you guys who have been mountain biking in the United States for a long time. My dad and I fix everything that comes our way. There's nothing that we send off to the bike shop and we get it back, or we take it there and then they fix it for us. I blew out my rear shock last year, and that was what I had to send in because we didn't have nitrogen to pressurize it with. And that took 3 months overall. I was off of my enduro for 3 months. So
that sucks.
it's just like we have to work on everything. So we know the ins and outs of all of these different things that we have on our bike. So it's like, when you're riding hard and you don't have a good way to get stuff fixed, then you just have to learn the internals of all this stuff, which is pretty annoying at some point.
Okay, I have a key question for Adam here, because now that we got Josh on the line, if you're going to pick a wheel size, Adam, which one are you going to go with, 27.5 or 29?
29.
Oh, I thought we were going to be like best buds, but we could still be best friends.
I am 6'4", and I weigh 200 pounds, so that actually really contributes to my choice. Also, the terrain that I ride on in Kenya, I actually really see a big improvement of speed when I'm riding on the 29er. So, like I was telling you before, when I blew out my shock, that was actually during the time that Brian came and visited me. I was riding a Santa Cruz, which did not belong to me, and that was a 27.5. So I don't know if you guys remember that, but I was riding that, and then I did some runs on my Strava where I was like going flat out on like the trails that I know the best, and I set down a speed that I really thought I could not beat, and then actually I did that the day before I got my enduro back, and then I hopped on my enduro like after not riding it for several months, and I beat that time by 13 seconds.
Jeez.
So like
29ers
same trail
are capable of
condition.
that.
Yeah, just the rolling speed is amazing.
Yep.
So now you got to move to plus size tires because that's really the true best size. Plus size tires on an e-bike, go.
I demoed a giant e-bike that I didn't like very much, and one of the reasons I didn't like it very much was because of the plus size tires. Also, they were 27.5 plus, but man, that thing was hard to pedal, and even though I had the motor and it was the first e-bike I'd ever ridden, and I was having an amazing time, but I decided that there was no way that I was going to end up on a 27.5 or a 27.5 plus e-bike after that.
27.5 plus only belong on hardtails, and I can say that because I've ridden all of them, and my last hardtail was not a 27.5 plus, and I kind of regretted it. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, go ahead, Adam.
I've only had two hardtails. I had a Scott Scales 29er that has 120 millimeters in the front, and that was just a like cross country beast. And then my dad just when we got here got a new bike, which is called a Pipe Dreams Moxie, and it's a very long and flat hardtail 29er with 160 millimeters of suspension, and it's a pretty good bike, and he really likes it, and I've enjoyed riding it, but really just the high speed chatter, it's pretty miserable.
Oh yeah, that was one thing that I didn't realize that I disliked about my Yeti. It was loud. Like I don't know if we're talking about like chatter as in like, you know, you feel it, or like the chatter that you actually hear.
I'm saying the chatter that you feel primarily.
Okay. Yeah, because then the Yeti was the exact opposite. It just like everything was just a cloud when you rode a full suspension plus size bike. You would just roll over everything, but the freaking everything on that bike just rattled for some reason, and it just drove me nuts.
Oh wait, are you talking about a full size hardtail 27 or 29 plus or 27.5 plus, or a hardtail that is just 29er wheels?
I was talking about when I had my SB5 Plus, the full suspension bike. I was trying to like read the chat, and I was trying to listen to you at the same time, and I'm not good at this stuff as Brian is. I don't know how Brian does it. BKXE. He can like watch the chat and like multitask like 5 different things. Maybe that's why he has more subscribers than me. I don't know.
Well,
and his magnitude of comments are insane.
Yeah.
And then speaking of that, I don't even know how he talks while he's riding his bike like up the trail on a climb. I've tried that before, and I can't do it. I'm like, I'm climbing. You know, that's pretty much it.
Well,
it works pretty good on an e-bike.
Yeah.
There you go. No, I definitely agree that 29 plus, 27 plus really belongs in a hardtail. That's what my Chromag is basically going to be. It's going to be exclusively a plus size bike. So once I finally get that thing built up, the plus size bike tires that I've been kind of cheating on with the GT, because I was trying to keep the GT low cost. And then as soon as the snow started, I was like, well, I can not ride my bike, or I can put the 27 plus tires on and be able to test camera gear. So I kind of decided to cheat for a little bit. But I also think I'll talk about, should you put 27 plus on your bike as kind of a, yeah, sorry, I probably shouldn't have done that. I know it's too easy to, I have a bunch of bike stuff kicking around, and I want to be better about that because I'm trying to be a good example.
You know, it was kind of interesting. I mean, it's not too far off topic, but I was talking to a manager at one of the local bike shops here in Grand Junction, and when they obviously send out demos, most of those bikes are going to ride in Grand Junction and Moab. And he said that overall, for like even like plus size full suspension bikes, that it seemed like it was a bigger fad maybe in like the West Slope and eastern Utah rather than anywhere else in the country.
Huh. That's interesting.
I thought that was kind of odd that was the case, and that those guys were selling maybe more than other people, maybe per capita, of course. But
so, when I went and visited LJ, which is in Georgia, which is just south of North Carolina, there's geography for you guys. I kind of like talk negatively about 27.5 plus, and they're like, "Oh, we love it here." And the truth is, and Joseph can speak to this more than anybody, plus size tires deaden the trail, which in some cases is okay. One, if you have intense, soreness or back problems or whatever, it's really nice. For hardtails, it's super nice. But I found with full suspension bikes, you don't need to deaden the trail more than your suspension already does. And so hearing it in Colorado, like it almost makes sense based on the terrain of it's pretty harsh out there, exposed, rock slabs and just jagged rocks. And so yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
So I can tell you from living in Austin for 5 years, plus size bikes are very popular there because Austin has a lot of tech. It is very technical. The Hill of Life should give you guys an example. There's tons of rock gardens to bomb through, and it gives you extra traction, and it takes just a little bit of the extra harshness off. And so you can kind of keep that very progressive setup tune on your fork without it being too soft. So that way it handles well, but then you don't have your teeth rattled out when you go, mock chicken down through this hill and suddenly hit a rock garden.
I didn't think about suspension setup, Joseph, but that makes a lot of sense. That it helps your suspension feeling if your tires are a little more plush. That's good.
Yeah, but it adds another complex layer because then you have to get your tire pressure dialed perfectly. Otherwise, if it's too soft, it squirms. If it's too hard, it bounces, and it's a bit of a mess. But once you get it dialed in, super fun.
Where is Cobra Kyle?
I'm here. Sorry. I was gonna say I think one of the first rides I did in Austin was with you, Joseph. And I was actually pretty jealous of your plus tires because it's super chunky there, and it was a new experience for me, honestly.
Yeah, so Austin definitely will challenge you. And it's interesting because of Brian's Wheels Down video, which people in the chat, if you've watched that, let me know what you thought about it. When that video has started to make the rounds, it's caught on. It's a new novel concept on mountain biking channels, so it's a little bit more palatable for everyone. There's quite a few mountain bikers that kind of came out and said, Austin's overhyped, don't go ride there. And I was a little bit confused because I figured, people would be even if they didn't like it, they wouldn't be that negative about it. But I mean, RC, have you heard anything about that? And then Adam, I'm going to ask you the same question.
So in terms of here, it's kind of weird because my ears are deadened because, I mean, in my opinion, I'm going to just say that we have world-class riding in Grand Junction, which I'd almost argue is better than Moab, but that's a biased statement right there. Anyway, as far from what I've seen content-wise from you, from the Lone Ranger, from Eric with no front brakes, and even Brian and Cobra Kyle, Hunt Style, I mean, there's a long list, but it looks actually quite remarkable. It looks like a solid place to be mountain biking, especially in the winter when it's not raining as much as it is over there right now. I think that people should get stoked on it, especially with that new Spider Mountain going in there.
Mm-hmm. And
Adam,
Joe, did you ever ride Cat Mountain?
I've ridden Cat Mountain, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It is not for the faint of heart. I was a
No, not
little
at
bit
all.
surprised that Brian was like, "Let's do a group ride in Cab Mountain." I don't know if Brian knew exactly what he was getting into, or if like that was
I don't
just the
think we
only
did.
day.
Because we all got separated pretty quickly. I think we broke into like 3 different groups, and I saw Brian like twice that whole day, like when we started and when we finished. Um, but yeah, that place is pretty nuts.
Yeah, and I mean it's private. Um,
Yeah.
it's a private area. It's private land. It's been hand built by some of the most insane people that I know out in Austin. A lot of the free ride 512 guys have been out there cutting trails, and so they love to build big features.
And those were big features I saw in those videos. I don't think I'm capable of hitting that kind of stuff. Josh, I know he is, and Adam's a pretty dang good rider himself. But I was really, really impressed because that was like full enduro.
So, if you've never heard of it, there is the Free Ride 512 Park, and it is out in Reveille Peak Ranch, and it's kind of an invite only. And the reason why is because you will kill yourself if you try to do some of these features. They have like a 15-foot drop where like you literally it's like a 10-foot roll up, and then you're in the air. And then you have to like hit the transition perfectly. And I've seen some people huck to flat on that, and you're like, how do you have kneecaps? Like, how did you
That
just
is
not like
awesome.
fold like a freaking accordion just right into the trail? So there's some crazy stuff out there. But Adam, I mean, like, did you watch the Wheels Down video? What was your impression on Austin?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it the day it came out on Patreon, and I was pretty stoked by it. I feel like there could have been a little more writing in there. And I guess it's just the first edition, but I really liked that style of video, and I feel like with YouTube nowadays, there's all kinds of different people making different content, and it's not necessarily like oversaturated or anything, but that just makes it more challenging for everyone. Everyone has to be able to put out really good content and really different stuff so that they're gonna actually get watched and said. And you don't want to just get bored of watching like the same GoPro stuff. And I really like the GoPro stuff, but really changing it up is awesome too.
Adam is so right.
Yeah,
So right.
I constantly tell people, I preach about it so much that I think people kind of have fallen or have gotten tired of listening to it. Cell phones are probably the only thing you really need to do to build a YouTube channel if you have nothing else, because people are kind of burnt out on POV right now. Like, if you are a sick shredder, people want to watch it because it's like a roller coaster. But if you're kind of like, you just want to document your journey, I would say that taking a camera along with a little tripod, $20, and just set it up along the features, and then stop in places and kind of vlog. And I mean, it's basically free because some kids get cameras or get phones for free. I have a phone because who doesn't have a cell phone? So it's something you already have, and I think that's all you need. GoPros are now becoming an accessory instead of the main staple, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but I agree with you. I think that, for the first cut, I think Brian was trying to show a lot of he was trying to get away from making a pure POV video. And I think he kind of swung the pendulum a little bit too far. I was listening to his podcast today, and he kind of hinted at it that he liked it, but he didn't like it. I don't know if he realized that there should have been a little bit more POV, or if he just kind of wished that he had done something different. We'll see. It's a pilot. Pilots. If you go and watch a pilot for any TV show you love, the pilot usually feels completely different than the actual show. Because if anything, a pilot is everyone just kind of feeling it out and figuring out, all right, so where's this going to go? How are we going to do this format? But, I mean, to dive in a little bit deeper, Adam, you've ridden in Kenya, and Kenya actually has some pretty darn good mountain biking there. I mean, we've all seen the videos. How, from Brian's other videos where he was out in Austin, not the Wheels Down, but the extra stuff, what do you think about, what you saw?
those rocks, man, you know, they just look pointy and like it's sort of the closest in that I've ridden is El Paso, and that was really really loose and really rocky, and I'm just imagining, you know, the destruction that my tires experienced on those probably 5 days of riding that I did there. And I'm
Yeah.
just imagining that, but then more trails with like bigger features and stuff, and I'm really imagining that there's like you have to be pretty careful about like preserving yourself and preserving your bike. But it looks awesome. I really want to get out there, and ever since like riding back here for the past few months and being on the e-bike and stuff, I've just been really getting into jumping and, you know, trying to hit the biggest jumps that I can, because we don't have those back in Kenya. You know, the trails in Kenya are made for walkers. We don't have switchbacks unless it's, you know, insanely steep, because people just want to get from point A to point B. They're not out there for the scenic views, which it's amazing. They're out there because their life depends on it, whether they're getting grass for their cows or going back and forth to work. So
Yeah.
I just like the whole idea of, you know, groomed trails really, really interests me nowadays. And so seeing different stuff like that, where it's sort of like using the trails and making the trails as a collaboration also with the what am I saying? Like mixing the nature and the man-made features really is what I'm super interested in right now.
Definitely, and that's something that I always gave credit to the trail builders out there. A lot of people kind of poke at Austin and Texas as a whole, like you don't, like, oh, you guys only have a few hundred feet of elevation at best. You know, how can those trails be so good? And definitely, they are techy and challenging, and a lot of people don't like that because they want to get into the flow, they want to get speed. But I kind of feel like those types of trails with technical, challenging terrain, like you said, where the trail is built to go through those features and challenge you, those will make you a better technical rider. There's a reason why Jeff Lanowski loves going to Austin, because as a trials rider, like, it's a playground for him. There are some trails there that like only Jeff could ride. I walk them, and he would probably just boop, 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 right up the stone walkways. I mean, if I ever go back to Austin, there's one trail that I want to do a trail features on, hence the name of my channel. It's the Austin Greenbelts. And yes, there's a ton of people on there, meaning like, you know, hikers and pedestrians, but it's not about going fast. It's about taking in all this amazing nature, and like you're riding through these trails and suddenly there's like this 20, 30 foot tall stone canyon right next to you, and there's rock climbers hanging out, and then to the left of you is like the, you know, a runoff of the Colorado River, and there's people swimming and dogs playing, and there's like these really nice groves, or there's these really nice rocky coves, and there's just such a variation of trail that it was super challenging, and you crawled like 5 or 10 miles an hour, not even 10, like 2 to 5 miles an hour. If you're hitting 6, you're going fast.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's like stopping and taking in all this gorgeous beauty, and other redundant words like that, where it's about the trail. And that was one of the reasons why I loved Austin so much.
And that's a perfect explanation of it. I rode that trail once last summer, and like you said, you can't go fast at all, especially in the first mile. It's just covered with hikers and people with dogs. But yeah, that place is beautiful.
It is. I love Austin. I know that it's such a expensive, hyped up place to live. Please don't move there.
That's why you gotta live in San Antonio, man. Like, it's cheaper. It's only an hour away, and we have decent trails here. Like, we have pretty good trails. They don't get shown much, but
yeah, and
like
it sounds like you guys are getting a bike park down there yourself.
Yeah, it's coming along, the Bandera Bike Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know MTB Drop and Tony just did kind of a little video. I haven't seen it yet because I was doing a bunch of stuff tonight, but it's on my watch list. But yeah, I think Austin and San Antonio are two places that are going to start to become those winter destinations, that in Florida, and some other places like that. But let's see. it's getting kind of late. Does anyone have any like closing thoughts on Carbon Horse Riders? Like, so when you moving back? I unfortunately don't think anytime soon. However, I want to get out there to visit because of the fact that I am getting so tired of the trails being absolute slop down up here and it being cold. So I want to get down there. But yeah, anyone have any closing thoughts on anything we talked about? The dropper post. I'm really interested to get to talk to Aaron over at PNW about that because I need to figure out if there's a way to adjust the travel because I actually bought the 170, which was way longer than I needed, assuming that I could adjust the travel, and I didn't realize that the new design can't be adjusted the way that I thought. So I'm gonna have to reapproach this. Yeah, I mean the good thing is that I can always talk to Aaron and be like, hey, can I get a shorter version since now I can't adjust it? Because my new bike has a shorter seat tube, so I'll be fine. It'll be fine. But I was gonna talk about these levers, but it's getting late, and I think I'm just gonna make a little bit of an unboxing video on that. But yeah,
Cool.
oh yeah, definitely. Justin Ramsey pointed out. Go follow Adam Aboss on Instagram, which I'll
Yes, please.
grab a link real quick. Or you can, whoever beats me to
I
it.
can.
All right. Yeah, definitely go and follow Adam on Instagram. You get to kind of follow along his journey, post all the cool stuff. And you're kind of doing an experiment right now where you're trying to ride without the e-bike and see how far you can go.
Yeah, if you guys don't mind me poaching the thing again, I could tell you a little bit about that.
Sure.
I don't think that link came out.
It's good enough. Most people are probably watching on their PCs right now or can copy and paste, but definitely go follow Adam. So Adam, kind of close us out with, what your goals are for this year.
So, how do I start this? So, I've been only on this e-bike for 2 months or so, but I'm already wanting to get like the next step of progression into getting healed, getting better. And, the ultimate goal is not to have to get a heart transplant or roll over and just sort of be done with my life as it is right now. So I sort of decided I want to get back on my normal bike, which is my Specialized Enduro. That's what I'll just be calling it, the Enduro. And yeah, I've just been wanting to ride it probably for a couple months now, like 1 month. And I finally decided to, 3 days ago, took it out to Rocky Peak. It's where the Grudge Trail is. Brian's ridden there a couple times. And some other famous guys and pros like Curtis Keene ride there every day. What's his name? Brooke McDonald was there 2 days ago. So it's a pretty awesome place that I am able to get out to. That's just a 20-minute drive from my house. That is such a, first of all, melting pot of all these different awesome riders that I've been meeting, but also just amazing high-quality trails because these pros, this is their training ground. Obviously not Brooke McDonald's training ground because he lives in like Australia or New Zealand. So, but just a lot of these California pros, this is their training ground. So I've been riding there a lot and finally decided to try going to take a lap on my Enduro. And it's a 7-mile lap that we usually do about 2 to 3 laps. So I did 1 lap the other day and was able to make it up the hill and back down pretty successfully. And I really realized that my main limiting factor was my legs and not my heart.
Wow.
Which I guess that's from the training or lack of training that I've been getting from the e-bike. But my heart is sort of compensating for the weakness or for the lack of work that it's doing. So my body's working better. A couple months ago, right when I got out of the hospital, I would get really tired just walking around. And that's because my body wasn't really responding to my heart not putting out really well. So I'm actually feel like that's an indication of my improvement, and it's pretty exciting to see like the next step is going to be me riding my enduro more and more and training. You know, you can train your legs up. That's what I did when I was in Kenya. I would climb 30,000 feet a month and, you know, just be riding and riding. That's what it takes to get trained up. So I'll be working on that. Today I went out on the enduro by myself and I climbed 3,000 feet and I rode 17 miles.
Dang.
So I'm pretty happy with that. And now I'm heading off to Kenya without any bikes. So
Oh,
that's,
no.
you know, that's a bummer. I'll probably do a little bit of running, but I'm going to be trying to lay low because I don't know exactly how well my body's going to respond to the elevation.
That's true. Definitely don't push yourself, but, you know, go out there and enjoy the countryside while you're out there, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that, you know, the e-bike definitely helped get you back into a good place. Your body is starting to adjust. Doctors are definitely helping you out there, and looking forward to seeing, you know, where your journey takes you on this. You know, you're definitely being an inspiration to a lot of us that are just like, oh, I could go outside, but you know, Netflix. You know, what's our excuse now?
I have just, for the last few years, I've just had this urge to be outside all the time. I started calling myself Nature Boy and just running around rampant outside. I have so much energy, and so I just love being able to go outside. You know, Kenya was a great place to grow up because I had, from, you know, very young age, where you wouldn't consider it safe to run around in Los Angeles, for example, I was going out in the forest for hours alone, even before I had a phone, so no one knows where I am for hours and hours. And just that urge to be outside has really still traveled with me over to California, and it's a bit harder to be out in nature here, but, you know, I make it happen nowadays. And it's really, you know, people tell me, like, a lot of kids tell me, you know, I want to be outside more, but I have homework. You know, you have to prioritize it. It really shows what you care about. You know, if you just prioritize it, then you're going to be able to do it. So that's really what I do. I make it a priority, and it's just because I love being outside, and really mountain biking is a really, really good way for me to do that.
That's very true. There's only 24 hours in a day, but if you spend it right, you can do it. You can do what you want to do in those hours you got. So, man, thanks for jumping on. Thanks for hanging out. You definitely added some really cool content today. A lot of great stories, and it was fun to be able to actually chat with you. We always hung out and chatted over Instagram, but we never actually got to talk face to face, more or less.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
hey, whenever you're in Los Angeles, I'm in the spare room right now, and you know, come and ride Rocky Peak.
It actually was a goal to get out to California this year, so I might have to take you up on that offer because I have family that isn't too far away from LA.
Awesome.
So I'll definitely have to bring the bike.
Trade some paint with some pros at Rocky Peak.
There we go. Yeah, or ugly cry back home like, I tried to do the thing and it fell and I look stupid. Thanks again, Adam. RC, do you have any closing thoughts on all this?
You know, I got two. Number one is, it's kind of like just going back and talking about Austin. If it's kind of like an old saying from Fruta over here, kind of one of the guys that's been behind a lot of trail building in Fruta. He said, if you build the trails, the riders will come. You know, and that's kind of like, even like Bentonville's kind of like a good story and comparative example of that. But real quick, again, if you don't follow Adam, it's adam.a.boss on Instagram. You can follow him there. And that's all I have to say about that, Joe. Thank you for having me on.
Awesome. Cobra Kyle, you've been quiet in the background. What are your closing thoughts?
Oh, not a whole lot, man. I appreciate you letting me jump on this. This is cool.
Definitely, man.
Say hey and talk to RC, and now I got to meet Adam too, so that's very cool.
Yeah, nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, you too, dude.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. I'm glad Josh challenged me to get a little bit of a collaborative live stream going with this dropper post thing. It was probably just going to be 20 minutes of me going, hey, here's a thing that I got. Cool. Okay, good night.
Right.
I'm gonna go watch Netflix now because I still haven't watched Bird Box. But anyways, Kyle, I definitely need to get down to Austin before the
Yeah, man.
summer hits because I do miss Austin. I want to hit Spider Mountain.
Me too.
And I think that you're going to see a lot of cool videos coming from a lot of content creators for the Austin and the San Antonio area. So look forward to that. And for everyone who hopped on and watched this live stream, thank you, JF Rides. You gave me $2 and I never said thank you, but we're gonna go riding in a couple weeks, so I'll buy you a beer after the ride. Appreciate it. And for everyone, Josh, you just hopped on right as we were closing it out. Were you watching along?
Yeah, and I was watching Netflix, but I just wanted to come and say, go watch more Netflix, everyone.
Yeah.
Every day.
Don't spend time riding your bike.
Get out there, watch some Netflix every day.
Yeah.
Josh, do you have any comments to close us out?
Nope. Just ride your bike. That's it.
Awesome.
Oh, I just have one thing to say.
Okay.
About a year ago, I came across Josh's channel. Somehow I was a little bit late to the party, and I started watching it, and I was just really thought it was awesome, all the different trails, and I really just loved your riding style and your videos. So I sent him a message, and we actually connected there, but we haven't ever talked except for a couple messages on Instagram. So it's cool to meet you guys in person after messaging you a lot, and we've been going back and forth. And you are welcome to come out, and I'll show you some awesome Los Angeles trails. I was going to say Kajabi, and maybe eventually Kajabi trails.
Definitely, man. Make sure that you have a nice spare couch, because otherwise we're gonna invade. We're gonna invade your house and just be all over the place with our bikes and everything. But definitely, man, I think some of us are gonna try to make it out there pretty soon.
Cool. There's also some great hotels nearby.
Okay,
That's
good to
where
know.
Los
I
Angeles.
think that's the option we'll probably take. Josh, you can take the pull-out bed.
Yeah, I'll take the floor or whatever I can get.
All right,
Well,
everyone.
We'll just turn it into a mountain biker house.
Mountain biker house.
I'm sure my grandparents won't mind.
Hey, the mud comes up. The mud comes out. It's fine. The tire tracks,
Yep.
not so much. But once again, everyone, thanks for watching the live stream, and everyone, my panel of awesome people. Thanks for coming and adding a lot of great value to this evening. And until next time, get out there and find your next adventure. Have a good one, everyone.
Awesome.